The calls were super easy to get into. Um, I called out calls pretty much here and here, and I set up that trade. I alerted that trade even when we were way down here on NQ. That was pretty obvious. Okay, there we go. Now the stream is working. The problem is, it's a pretty good spot for consolidation to take place. Maybe a big pullback to form a cup and handle. You know, now I am by kind of default bullish to this high, but that's so far away. I think it's pretty likely that we form a something like this, which could sweep my stop. But it was, I mean, I was as triggered in as I could possibly be on that entry. All right, but now I'm looking at chat. There's your Mac Mini, man. It's been good. It's been doing the job. Looks like ES is being strong again. Break even for the morning so far. Green so far. Red first trade didn't go well. Okay, what was your first trade, F? Were you short down here, or were you like long up here? Yeah, I mean, if I had to choose a PT, it's probably that. Yeah, it's probably this one. It's just, I don't think it's super likely to. I mean, the trend is super strong, and now we're halfway in between to where the odds are better. Um, I don't know how likely it is, though. I'll just roll with that PT and see what happens. But this blue line is my PT on NQ. It's just, I don't know if it wants to sweep this, though. That's a bullish candle on the NASDAQ. That looks great. It's a very bullish candle. Let's see if it holds, but that's plenty enough to clear this high, and I'm hoping it gets this high as well. And in extension to that, I hope that's enough to push, should be enough to push ES to PT. We will see. And yes, YouTube is live. Good. Now, this was also a potential long trade at 810, but I was kind of done trading options by then. I accepted a fairly medium green morning, mild green. I mean, I was only green by like a trade and a half because I took that loss on SPX puts, but I was pretty happy with the analysis. Super easy morning. The loss I did take was, I stopped out here of puts. Couldn't have been better. Short at 938 on NQ. I don't like that short, dude. I mean, no, I don't like that short. I can tell why in a second, but that's PT it. I'm out. It's a win. Forgot to document it, so give me a bit. I'm gonna have to be quiet for a second. Wasn't terrible, Dev, but the problem is just it already dumped so much, and it was doing the same thing it did. There was too much upwards pressure. It looked good for a short squeeze, and it did. I'm just surprised ES didn't go with it. Where's my good pen at? Lost it. Okay, today's the 18th. You guys in YouTube should have been able to catch that. I believe it was. Yeah. Starting off with one win today. Oh, I actually entered that before 8:30. I did not know that. Technically not really supposed to do that, but whatever. It's an early trade then. I mean, I could have got in on the next candle as well. I was confirmed in on the next candle as well, so that was bad. Oh, shit. Broke one of my rules today, folks. I was supposed to be copy trading 5 PAs, and I just traded one for $1,000 trade instead of five $200 trades. That would have hurt my psych a lot if that stopped out with that one. I looked up at my account to see how much the win was, and I'm like, that is not right whatsoever. So usually I write my rules before these sessions, and one of those rules is check size with an exclamation point. I didn't write those rules before I got in here. And sure enough, I didn't check my sizing. So it could have been bad. I'm actually more annoyed now because it would have been better if the 5 accounts got 200 each, not 1,000 for one account. That's useless to me. Well, it's a good thing I have a very tight stop loss on that trade. Very good. All right, I'm gonna write my rules real quick. I kind of just botched my whole day, but we'll work with it. Okay, I'm done with that. Give me 1 second. Thank the Lord I went long on ES instead of NQ because NQ's not doing anything. That is very bullish still on NQ though, so I'm still bullish for that blue line. It never hit. Kind of wish I was still going for that blue line because I'd still be in longs right now. But yeah, I'm bullish for this high on ES. I don't know if this is all-time highs. It looks like it, but I am bullish for this now. Okay, is my magnet just not working today? There we go. Yeah, NQ looks great for my blue line. ES, I'd expect ES to flip weak. I kind of hope that ES pulls back because I would love to go long on ES. It looks like it is going to flip weaker, but I can't go long on NQ. It's too close to my PT. If NQ somehow magically missed that price target and fell back down and then came back up, then I'd be able to. But for now, can't really do anything about this. I'm willing to enter if it gets multiple oscillations in supply, like 2, and then I'll do it. But this supply is untested, so I'm expecting it to be fairly strong. Yes, it's better. I mean, yeah, it's better. Or premiums are juiced. Yeah, that happens on days like today. Were you full size? That was way more than full size, buddy. I was 5x leveraged on that trade because I wasn't copy trading the accounts at all for some stupid reason. But now we're back. We're good now. We may have just put in a perfect double top on NQ. We did. It's a perfect double top on NQ. That's very rare. It's got to break. It's very unlikely that it pulls back because it's probably going to break right now. But if it does, that's a great trade to take. You know, it'd be very neat if it pulled back, broke a trend line, and then I can go long. But it should break right now. I'm very bullish. There's the break, just as predicted. Yep, still bullish. I don't have an entry though, so I'm gonna hang out and wait until I do. I don't have an entry unless we reject. Which doesn't look like that wants to happen. And you know what? The bigger time frame charts, NQ still bullish. You know, I sent that TA alert yesterday. It was bullish. Right after I sent it, went right back down, so it went back to being bearish. But this setup is still more bullish than bearish. But again, we have FOMC soon. Like it's hard to tell, you know, and it can go anyway. So we will see. But I do want to at least try to take one more trade because I need to trade all the accounts today. Yeah, I don't have a trade unless we like pull back. If we pull back, I'm able to go longs for ES all-time highs. I believe that's all-time highs. No. No, not even close. Why did I think all-time highs? I know it's been doing this. Not even close, but this high. Pre-market high on ES. I'm bullish for that. But I cannot enter unless I get some kind of consolidation. So I'm going to be hanging out for a bit. Let me know if you guys have any questions or comments or anything interesting to discuss while I'm waiting on this. Oh yeah, Chimkin, I'll get to that DM after this trading. There's a few DMs I gotta answer. But as far as the study sessions, guys, so it looks like a vast majority, since I have only, I mean, we don't have a lot. We have 40 people here in the Discord voice. Pretty much everyone said earlier for the study sessions. So my schedule just radically changed. I don't think I'm going to be able to do study session on Thursday either. I can maybe if it's earlier in the day, but with me going out of town Thursday night, which means for everyone else, I'm going to be gone on Friday. I'm going to have to see, but my schedule is like I'm going to be taken from 7 p.m. Eastern onwards, which would mean we can do the study sessions at like 5:30 Eastern. What do you guys think about that? 5:30 Eastern. That'd be 2:30 Pacific. About an hour and a half after market close. Which means I would probably start doing the psychology lessons at during power hour, during the last hour of market open. Looks like ES is just gonna get there. I'm gonna have to sit it out. I'm not able to get into it. Looks like NQ's flipping strong though. I'm starting to be, I mean, NQ's invalidated a majority of this drop, so I'm bullish for the high. However, I believe it's still below the 61.8, so I want to see if it rejects the 61.8 because that could be our ticket to, oh yeah, it's way above that. Yeah, I got nothing. I mean, if we get small bullish consolidation with NQ being stronger, you know, I can trade it to till ES gets this high. So I could actually enter NQ long at high of day looking for ES to clear this high here, but I need some kind of, I need something. I need some kind of red candle covered up by a green candle on ES, bare minimum. but it's kind of looking like 5:30 may be it. Too early for Pacific. 4:30 Pacific would be better. Krusty, you said too early for Pacific, but then you. Oh wait. I'll have to see. I can't really make. I can't really set anything in stone. I don't know my schedule yet. I'll know it next week. Look at NQ go, man. So good. That's why I said like I can't enter NQ at high update. I'm probably going to. This candle closes right on ES. I'm probably going. No, it is a small baby bullpen on ES, but now NQ's putting in a selling wick. If that selling wick invalidates, maybe, and if that candle on ES happens to be a really small green candle, like this, for the next one, and this selling wick invalidates like that, I can take an entry, but more than likely I'm missing out on ES clearing this high. You guys don't have to, but I am. And this is the next PT up here, the 6153. And that's a pretty good PT as well. Oh yeah, ES is strong now. Looks great. Looks great. Should have chose NQ. ES is going now. You're good, Viper. Just the way those 1 minute candles laid out was perfect to not allow me in. I would have been able to get in if this candle didn't clear this high and then I got one solid green candle here. I would have been able to get in there, but the way they're laid out, I can't get in. You calls you were watching cleared 30%. I believe it. Looks like they're going to go even higher too. This looks really good. That's a nice candle on NQ. I can take a trade here. I'm not going to though. I can. I really can. But I'm not. You guys can. That buying wick candle's an entry candle. And that right there is why it'd be really cool if it gets slammed back down because I'm not in, but it's just, we're so close to the ESPT and I could have taken this trade here. I mean, I alerted it so you guys could have taken it. Here would have been the stop loss. Bare minimum 1-to-1 PT, it's already there. But really, I would be looking for at least this. Which kind of puts us at this little pivot here. Yeah, that's a good trade. See, if I were trading in replay mode, that's a trade I probably would have taken. But I didn't have time to sit there and think about it. That candle formed in the last like 4 seconds, so I missed it. Called it though. Looks good to get to that blue line. There's ES getting to PT. Congrats if you guys caught it. The next one's up here. Still looks plenty bullish to me. I don't really think it's going to reject. I think we're heading for this next one. And I could see NQ heading for supply. And then maybe a trend break. This looks pretty good. I will be trading next week. Tia, Christmas Eve, probably not. But I'll be trading every day that's not Christmas Eve. I believe markets closed on New Year's. But yeah, I'll be trading. Man, I want to go long on ES even now. It looks great to get to that next level. Strong, loving how it's invalidating that selling wick. It did get a volume spike there, which does indicate reversal. That's the only red flag, minus it being on a pivot. So even if I wanted to, I can't enter that trade. But look how strong ES is. Man, this looks good. Too bad I have a rule that explicitly says no continuation trades on pivots, or else I would like ES longs here. just by the way it's reacting to this potential NQ downside. But what I'm hoping for is NQ does something like this. And then I can take long. It's good. Again, nice cup and handle possible. That's pretty bullish candle on ES. Still a lot stronger than NQ, but yeah, I can't enter continuation trades on pivots, unfortunately. So, in order for me to get into longs, I'm going to need multiple oscillations at the minimum. So, I'm stuck sitting on my hands for now. Good morning, Daniel. You missed out on a one green long trade so far. Yeah, Tia, I'll be back. I'll be back by Monday. Be back on Sunday. Which means the Sunday mentorship groups, we may need to do another meeting early next week instead of Sunday. I'll have to see. I don't know what time I get back. ES is a lot stronger than NQ, which could make for a good NQ short. I do like this candle right now on NQ. It's invalidating the buying wick. ES is sweeping a pivot. Looks good for short. But it also could be an okay ES long as well. It's either NQ shorts or ES longs. NQ rejected the 78.6 fib. I can see it. I need it to go down a lot more before I'll enter shorts. ES is too bullish at the moment. 78.6 is a rare rule to play out, but it's definitely good to keep in mind. Yeah, we did perfectly. Yep. All right, I'm about to draw our PT. Our PT, our bearish price target on NQ is down here. There you go. I could take a massive short and just hold it for an eternity. Take like a 4-to-1 risk to reward trade. This would be the trade here. I nailed it. 4.2 to 1. So good at math. Not my style though. I'll sit in trades that could take potentially hours just to stop out. That's not my personality. But I still like shorts. And I mean, at a minimum of this level, I just don't want to. For me to enter shorts, it's going to need to. Oops, that's vertical line. Like, this is kind of the bare minimum level I want to see. So I could enter. Yeah, it's going to get another bearish candle. See, what I want is I want it to come down and then bounce and invalidate that bounce. And you know what? If this gets a bounce here and it covers up the bounce, I think I'm willing to go short, even though The risk is it's a fairly big risk because ES is bull flagging at the moment, or trying to. It's trying to do something not super bearish. But it still has that pivot. We will see it. You know, if this bounce invalidates, I may take this shot. I don't think it's a bad one. What do you guys think? Type in chat. Is ES really going to come down to allow that, though? You know? That's a good bounce. I don't really see that bounce invalidating, honestly. Nothing looks bearish about ES's chart. That's the problem. And especially because it just put in that green candle, it's really putting in a bull flag. I can't get in longs here, though. I mean, you could if you really want to. At the bare minimum, it is invalidating most of the drop. But like I said, I at least need 2 oscillations. And for that, I don't think I'm willing to go short even if we come back down either. Because it could just be the second oscillation. So still sitting on hands for now. But this is starting to be a long entry on NQ. And I'm actually... You know, if this candle happens to close incredibly strong to where I don't think NQ is going to pull back or doesn't indicate that, which would mean my entry would be up here. I kind of like longs to supply. And that's a fairly conservative deal and it has a decent risk to reward. But nope, it already pulled back. So nope, 2 oscillations minimum. End of story. Probably going to have to sit out. I'm probably going to miss out on this run. But, you know, the way that just invalidated that selling wick, though, that's pretty damn bullish if it can hold that candle. FOMC is usually at 2 p.m. Yes, 2 p.m. Eastern. We got an entire 2 hours until FOMC. Not, man. Yeah, longs are okay here. The candle's closing nice. I still have another 10 seconds to make a decision. I ain't doing it. I'll sit it out. I want multiple oscillations. Even if we do something as small as this, I'll be willing. But right now, I'm not willing. It's too likely to just go sideways right now. Good. It's another oscillation. And it bounced too high, so I'm not willing to go short either. If it didn't bounce, if it bounced about like half that high, I would be okay going short right now. Shorts don't look terrible, but there's too much bull flag potential here for me to go short. So I am continuing my wait. It's a prime example of why I do not take continuation trades on pivots, guys. Look, this is why. Even though the market could not look more bullish, I can't do it. I cannot do it. That drop is enough for me to want to be bearish. That's a good looking drop. I like that drop a lot. If this candle is small and green, I'll enter short on this candle. I like the odds of it. At least getting to that first PT. You know. But if it, see, it's too big at the moment. I don't like it. So if I get a small red candle covering this one up, or it closes, even if it closes a doji, I don't know, because ES could still be a bull flag, you know? Because ES now has put in multiple oscillations. Now that that's happening, I'm starting to be more willing to take a long, even though it's still on a pivot, because I really like the fact that that's just invalidated that whole leg. I'm gonna wait one more candle. I cannot do anything, but if the next candle is fairly small and green, um, I'm liking ES longs to the next pivot. It's too nice of a bull flag or descending broadening wedge, and it got multiple oscillations and it's stronger than NQ. So definitely looks more likely than it did last time. Even NQ's bouncing pretty nice now. Problem is that PT's far away. That PT is pretty far away, but I like it. I like this trade. It's got a damn good risk to reward. The odds they're okay. They're not terrible odds. They're not super high. Definitely more than 50%, but it's a proper trade to take. But you know what? NQ's bouncing a lot harder than ES is at the moment. See, ES isn't even holding a green candle. I might want to take NQ long up here instead. I didn't enter on that candle. I gotta wait another one. See, NQ's chopping down, but it's very steeply chopping down. If this candle closes green, I think I'm gonna take it on ES. I think I'll give it a shot. I mean, it's got the world's closest. It's got such a close stop loss that it does not have good odds of playing out. I'd say maybe it's a 50% trade, but it's a 50% trade with a 2.0 risk to award. So that's not bad. Can't enter on that candle. Didn't close green. Nope, I needed it close. Cover. I needed to invalidate that previous doji. It did not do that. So I'm still waiting. I'm starting to think I'm probably going to end up taking NQ longs. I think NQ is probably going to flip strong. This is kind of my entry area on it. And, you know, I guess supply would be my PT. You could choose a closer PT. You know, even high of day is almost a 1-to-1. NQ's looking strong. That's a bullish candlestick. I can enter early. It's not early anymore. All right, if this candle closes like this, I think I'll give it a shot on NQ. Otherwise, I'm okay waiting one more candle. It did close like that. So I did take a stab on it. Very tight stop loss. $68.25. Again, not super likely to play out, but the restored is very good. Oh, looks like it's probably going to stop out. Yeah, the MNQ's chart different, but looks like it wants to stop out. ES wants to pull it back down. This candle didn't close awful. It's a bearish candle open though. Damn it. Had a chance there. I'd be surprised if this candle closes green. It totally can, but ES wants to go for this lower low. Yeah, MNQ is like an entire 2 points off today for some reason. Not sure why. ES did sweep the low. It has a chance, but when I take trades that are above 2.0 risk to reward, I mean, this one's freaking 3.2. Pretty hard to be confident in it until it gets like halfway to PT. So I'm gonna hang out on my phone and see what happens. But I'm hoping at least my early entry kind of paid off. I do like NQ strength at the moment, but it's not gonna be looking pretty good until ES gets it back up to here. If ES doesn't get up to there, it's could round off and just kind of droop down to demand. And that is, you do not want that to hold on NQ. That higher high with this selling week is not a bullish thing. NQ cannot secure a bullish candlestick close. Was almost confident there, but couldn't close right. So still not much confidence. There is a lot of shorts playing, obviously. If we can invalidate that selling wick, it'll look pretty good for at least a higher high. But no, it's not very bullish. Looks like shorts are still in control at the moment. We'll see if that changes. It looks pretty good to stop out. I think I'll try this setup one more time if we get a candlestick to close right here. Because it almost broke free there twice, but couldn't close right. So if we get a candlestick close up here, I'll re-enter. Otherwise, I'm not really able to go short either because it's chopping down too much, so I'm back sitting on my hands. It's pretty bearish for my pivot. So I'd be very picky on entering though. You know, if it bounces in, then that bounce gets wiped out. I think I'm willing to take it. This is a very conservative short PT though. I mean, realistically, it's probably gonna get to here. Let me see if I did enter here. That's a very close trade. Not bad though. Yeah, we'll see. Or I may end up entering longs. I don't think so. If this bounce invalidates, I think I'm going to take shorts to that level on NQ. And that bounce is invalidating. Yeah, I took it. Not super fond of that PT, but why is my... Oh, I'm not trading on the right MNQ chart. That is why. Trading on Z4 instead of H5. That's my issue. Whatever. Anyways, I entered the trade right when that green candle closed red. This is my PT. My entry's somewhere around there. I gotta switch my chart because that's why it was so confusing why there was such a big difference. Like I said, this is a pretty solid PT2. But you know, we have less than 2 hours until FOMC. I don't really know what the market wants to do. I feel like it's probably just going to get to the middle of this range and then chop. So I'm hoping that it at least gets to the middle of the range. Yeah, there it is. All right, cool. That's a pretty quick green trade. Not gonna lie, I kind of forgot to put my stop loss up on that because it was moving in the right direction. I was trying to figure out why the discrepancy. So let me change that real quick. H5, there we go. Now I think we're good. Yep. Sweet. One moment, let me document that. Made all that previous loss back plus a bit extra. Not as much extra as I would have liked. I feel like that chart was really screwed up that I traded on, so I think there was left profits on the table with that. Told you guys if I get a bounce and invalidate that bounce, probably gonna hop in. I just did not expect that to happen within one single candle, and it did. It bounced and invalidated it within a candle, so. And I can't really wait for another candle because the PT's too close. It'll ruin my risk to award. And it just so happened that that was a solid 40-second long trade. Really could have moved my PT further away, but I didn't react in time. Probably going to get to this second one here. That was a really bearish drop. Yep, there it is. Yep. That is bearish. Both my wins today get pretty much double X's. We just kept going right through where I sold. Yep, that's bearish. That is very bearish. I'm starting to consider the possibility of NQ breaking low of day. However, that did get a massive volume spike, so watch for potential reversal. I got to be picky where I enter, but now we're clearly in a downtrend. We did reject the 78. You know what? We did hold the rejection of the 78.6 fib, and I did draw that the PT, our 78.6 PT, is right here. I think I'm going to end up playing it. Like, I think I'm willing to enter a bounce and give it a shot. I really am. You know, if I get another bounce and it invalidates, I'm willing to give it a shot. It's definitely pretty risky, but you know, I want to take it for the plot. You know, I don't want to miss that 78.6 trade if it plays out. Looks like NQ's trying to flip stronger than ES. But I like how this green candle keeps trying to get a selling wick. This green candle validates I may re-enter it. I really like that 78.6 level. Oh my gosh. Am I going to get in? Gotta wait for this candle to close. I wanted to enter on that bounce, but it was too unorthodox. But we dropped enough now to where I'm actually able to enter. I don't really want to enter down here because I feel like it's just going to bounce. But yeah, it's a risky trade, but it looks pretty damn good. I don't even know if it wants to bounce. I mean, that candle did get a huge volume spike, and we're just kind of continuing down. I think it's worth a chance. Let's see if it invalidates this buying wick. Yep, it is putting in. Yes, it is invalidating that. 2-2. Yeah, I did fill there for a pretty risky trade. We'll see. Looking for the 78.6 PT, which happens to line up with this microscopic pivot. This is pretty much the stop loss I have. It is a pretty decent distance away. I wouldn't take this trade unless you're willing to take this size of a loss. I just don't want to miss out on a potential 786 playing out. Actually bring back those fibs real quick. Well, right as I enter, that's potential reversal candle. Let's see how hard that bounces it. I would not enter this trade unless that candle goes away. But part of the 78.6 rule, and it looks like the rule's playing out, but the 78.6 rule is the same as the 61.8, plus it typically blows through the rest of the fib levels in a very aggressive manner, which usually means very little bouncing. And it's doing that. So with this particular rule, that's why I'm willing to risk it, because the rule says it's usually doesn't bounce, like it usually goes through pretty aggressively. And man, I would hate myself for missing a 78.6 trade. They're so rare. They're so rare. And based on how it invalidated this, based on how it blew through the support I have, the odds were looking, even though the 78.6 rule, I do not think it usually has high odds, the odds were looking pretty good that the rule is going to play out. But we'll see. At least it was a good entry. You know, even if it reverses, at least it was a good entry. Not a fan of that buying wick, though. And then it's getting a volume spike, so looks like it's really trying to bounce here. Yet a bearish candle open. That's interesting. And that bearish candle open is producing a bearish candle. What a gorgeous liquidity sweep, guys, on ES. It's almost like the way we chart works. It really sucks that I missed out. Like, I couldn't be in longs for this upside. It really sucks. All right, well, Still got decent distance away to the PT. That's bearish candle on NQ, but ES is putting in lower lows with buying wick. So I'm gonna hang out on my phone until it gets close to one of my orders. I am gonna move my stop loss up just a hair. I just moved it halfway up that. If it comes all the way back up there, it's totally gonna keep going up. So it's another bearish candle open on NQ. I don't want to jinx it, but I really hope that it gets there without bouncing because that means the 78.6 rule played out flawlessly, and it's so rare that I see. I can't tell you the last time I played a 78.6 fib. I mean, they play all the time. I'd say maybe one 78.6 plays out on the 1 minute during the normal times of trading per week, but it's just rare that I identify it and whatnot. I didn't even document this trade. That's a pretty hard bounce. Unless that candle invalidates within like 2 candles, it's looking like the 78.6 rule is not going to play out perfectly. Did start getting a selling wick there, but this is a bullish candlestick open. So I'm expecting this candle to close green, which means we're probably going to get a couple green candles after that. Looks good for a short squeeze, small one at least. It's almost like I just called while the candle was red. I expect it to close green. It's almost like we called it. Let's see how far it goes up. That's not a bullish selling wick, and that's not a bullish candlestick open. So I can't predict that this candle is going to close green like I was able to last candle. But this is like a short re-entry here. I mean, if it closes, like, if this candle closes red, I have no idea if it will. It's 50-50. But if this candle were to close red, or at any point we get a red candle kind of wiping out this, that's bearish consolidation. That looks pretty good to extend the run to the downside. Yep, ES is at the 61.8. Unfortunately, it looks like NQ still has short squeeze potential. Both of these candles opened red and they ended up flipping green. There's a lot of shorts playing right now, and we may have hit support strong enough to squeeze them out. So I predicted after this candle, it's probably going to get a couple green candles. Let's see who puts in green candle number 2. So far, it's still looking bullish for a bounce. Yeah, that is green candle number 2. That is a short squeeze. I'm pretty damn good at predicting that. It's so obvious when it wants to do that. It sucks that NQ is stronger than ES now, because now this trade's 50-50. I don't know if it's going to be able to get to PT. Right now, it's looking like it wants to keep bouncing, but stop loss is too far away to predict that it's going to stop out. All right, we're kind of in the middle. I'm going to hang out on my phone until it gets close to one of my orders. Looks pretty bullish at the moment, though. That's pretty dang bullish. That short squeeze is continuing to short squeeze. We may, I mean, we could go all the way back up. That's pretty damn bullish on the NASDAQ, and it is way strong. So we almost had it there. It was a bright green to red trade. Looks like it's going to stop out now, though. Almost had the 78.6 rule play out. Couldn't be much closer. But I'm able to re-enter longs if it gets high enough, but now we're back in the middle of the range, so I'm not going to be entering a trade anytime soon. Sometimes being so good at calling out short squeezes is a burden because I know when my trade's going to stop out for the most part. All right, if we go all the way back up, I'm able to take longs, but we're in the middle of the range, so I'm going to hang out for a bit and see if price action puts in something nice. There is a possible early entry for NQ longs coming up. If ES puts in bullish consolidation here, I think ES would at least push up to here, and NQ would at least push to here, which would be my long entry. But I may be able to enter that early and not sacrifice too much probability if I were to enter around here. I got to see how ES closes, but yep, that's an early entry. But it's too early into the candle, so I got to wait, unfortunately. The candle's not closing right. Leo, you got to be trading on the new contracts. Candle did not close right, so that is not an early entry. It's kind of looking like they're actually the same strength. Let's see, 912. Yeah, they're kind of the same strength at the moment. Where longs here put me? NQ's PT is just a little bit further. That's still a potential long entry on NQ. The problem is ES is getting that big selling wick, but NQ is indicating a continued short squeeze here with the way it's invalidating that previous candle. Looks good to push up. I don't know if it's going to be able to push up high enough. I think I'm going to take it personally. But this is more of a personal preference trade for sure. Waiting to see how this candle closes. Yeah, close good on NQ. I gave it a chance. It's completely personal preference. It's so risky, guys. You know, right in the middle of the range. It's like a bare minimum trade too. I don't really have any very good trades at the moment. Yeah, I would not enter this unless that red candle goes away. Looks like I may have just got scammed. Looks like NQ's actually flipping weak. I mean, there are no longs to be played unless this red candle invalidates, but it's kind of looking like ES longs might be the move. No, NQ's still looking good. Well, the candle invalidated, so if you're waiting to enter there to not get my shitty entry, that's good enough now. As I said, I was in on this candle. I thought I was going to stop out. I said, do not get in unless this red candle invalidates. But now it's not as bad. So I'll throw it on my chart. Thought I was going to get scammed there, but I still could, but it's not as bad now. See if the candle closes right, though. It's just not getting to the last 10 seconds. It's not closing the greatest. It's closing okay. Not closing. Yeah, it's a bearish candle open. Actually, not so much. It's not a bullish candle open, though. That's a tough decision on whether or not to enter there. If I wasn't in, we just made the higher high with this selling wick. ES looks bullish, though, but NQ, it's... we got a broadening top going on. Technically, a broadening top is a bearish reversal pattern. It's just so rare that they actually play out as such. Like, these patterns rarely play out, but be advised, this is technically a bearish reversal pattern. But broadening tops or broadening bottoms are the patterns I care about absolutely least. So we'll see. I'll continue hanging on my phone, waiting for something to happen. But you know what? This looks like price action may start waiting for FOMC now. We got a big run, we got a big drop, and then we had a big run again. I don't know if it's going to go for any continued move before FOMC happens. It seems like it's balanced out at the moment. Yeah, NQ is way weaker than ES. That looks disgusting. That looks terrible. NQ's got some horrendous weakness going on. Keeps sweeping higher highs and trying to reject. Doesn't look atrocious. Like, it doesn't look that bad, but I wish it was stronger than ES still. Because, I mean, I would be in this trade. 33. Not a massive difference, but it would certainly be a bit of a higher probability. But the way NQ's chopping up right now, this is like a baby rising wedge, which I think actually is a pretty good chance of breaking to the downside because of how weak NQ is. I can't really draw it, but you can see it. So we'll see if that happens. It doesn't look horrible, but it doesn't look great either. I mean, it's so far from PT, and price just, it really is not moving well. You know, ES is moving better, and ES is a lot higher than NQ. It's at least made some progress. NQ is pretty sideways. It does have the potential to squeeze here, though, so if it's gonna go within the next like two candles, like it should be going right now. If it doesn't go, then I'm gonna be thinking it's not gonna hold up, and the rising wedge is gonna play out. So should be interesting here within the next candle or two candles. Do I recommend getting into this NQ trade or is it too late? It's too hard of a call, man. You know, if this candle closes green, yeah, you could get in. It's just there's no way to know if it's going to pull back again, if it's going to shoot right up. You had a lot of chances to get in to this trade, and it's still so far away from PT, even though it's moving in the right direction. I have no idea if it's going to hit. All I knew is that the odds were solid when I entered the trade, and we'll see if they keep being that way. But with today being an FOMC, it's hard to be confident in anything, especially after this bright green to red trade. I almost had this one. This was a great trade. Just barely missed. Not really barely, but it missed it only by a little bit. Would have been very satisfying if it got that 78.6 fib. Still not moving up in the way I want it to be moving up. Still looks like it can fall at any point, but that's because there's short. There's a lot of selling happening into this move, and which again is fuel to the fire. We could continue squeezing, but I'm not very confident in that yet. ES is so much better. You know, I'm up a tiny amount on this trade, but if I entered ES, I'd be up a lot more. I'd be up twice as much. A lot further from stop loss too. But if they both get to PT, it doesn't matter. So I'm just hoping that they both do or they both don't. It looks like that rising wedge is trying to play out on NQ. Oof, that looks awful. See how ES barely went down? Looks terrible. Unfortunate that I'm not in ES. Because ES looks like it's going to get to PT. NQ just shit the bed. It doesn't look like it's going to get to that high. It'll be a miracle if NQ gets there. ES looks near guaranteed to get there. That's very surprising that NQ got this huge dump and ES didn't budge. NQ's actually looking like a pretty decent short trade. It is so much weaker than ES. That is so unlucky. ES looks like it's going to get to that high. NQ does not look like it's going to get to that high. It's still miles away, and it's... I don't know how far this thing's going to reverse. I mean, I'm thinking it's probably going to do something like this. And then I don't even know. We might just chop going into FOMC. But see, now I can't sell it at break even. Because I was about to sell it at break even, but then we get this random candle, and now it has a chance again. So I'm just going to ride this trade out. But NQ's been a POS this entire trade. Most of this trade. So we continue the wait. Or you can sell for a tiny gain. Honestly, I don't blame you. It really does look like shit. This candle looks good. Like, just looking at the NQ chart, sure, there's a chance that it gets there, but comparing it to the ES chart, it's just been so much weaker. I feel like it has so much more ground to cover than ES does to get there, which hurts the odds of it getting there. So I don't know really how to feel. So you can sell it for a small gain if you want to. I'm going to personally write it out. Just going to hang out on my phone, do what I'm good at, which is nothing. And if I lose this trade, I will be red by one full trade, one solid sized red trade, maybe slightly above average. If I win this trade, I'll be green by almost 2 trades. What did Bryce do while I was away? It depends how long you were away for, Caprista, Karita. Probably nothing. Haven't really been doing much today. Had this green to red trade. Entered shorts here. My PT was like here. Missed the damn thing. Yeah, see, like NQ is such a piece of shit. The hell is its problem? ES looks beautiful. How come NQ can't look half as good as ES is? Every pullback on NQ is so freaking weak. ES is gonna hit PT before NQ is even halfway to PT. So damn annoying. There's nothing more annoying than that. Yeah, ES is a piece of shit. Hate that. It's very unfortunate. You know, it was a toss up between what you enter, ES and NQ, and didn't think NQ would be this weak. I'm hoping that NQ doesn't stay super weak, because usually it'll try to catch up. It's not just going to stay weak forever. My hope is that when ES gets PT, which is up here, NQ will be up here. That way, on its own, NQ will look likely to get to PT. The unfortunate part is ES is damn likely to pull back if it gets this PT, which means NQ is probably going to pull back a bunch. And if it does pull back, if I entered ES, I would have had one green trade. I would have been able to re-enter for another green trade. Whereas NQ, I'm just stuck in this trade. Jealous of all you who took ES. I don't know if any of you guys did, but if you did, I'm jealous. Risk to reward's better too on the ES trade. And they're really even PTs actually. Like, they're really close. That is so annoying. Yeah, I cannot be confident in this trade. Well, I'm just going to hang out on my phone. Probably going to be a while before I stop out or hits PT. So we'll see what happens. But as for now, it's a bearish reversal signal on NASDAQ. I don't really expect it to reverse to the downside, but it could. It's a bearish evening star on the NASDAQ, which is a bearish candlestick reversal pattern. Let's see if it plays out. Obviously, I hope it doesn't play out, but this will be the trend line it would target. So, but we're about one big green candle away from squeezing to the upside again. I just don't think it's going to do that. I sold the trade at break even. It looks so damn shitty, guys. Like NQ is such a piece of shit. It could go up, but it's just so much further from PT. I would much rather just enter ES all the way up here than enter NQ for that PT. Like it looks so horrendously unlikely to get all the way up there after how it's been moving. I mean, it could. I mean, it was chopped. I mean, you could hold it if you want to. You know, it chopped up here forever and ended up squeezing, but it's like, I just don't want to hold it. I don't want to hold it until it gets. I would rather, honestly, re enter all the way up here when I know it's likely than hold through this bullshit where it's still at break even after staying in the damn trade for 30 minutes and it looks horrendous. Like I'm just waiting for it to stop out the whole time. So one of the rare situations or rare circumstances that I dump a trade at break even. Absolutely despise it. Could have made it a little bit on it, but that's fine. This trend line looks pretty good to break now. All right, no problem, Jed. Tesla would have given you a better play. Well, it's unfortunate that I'm not trading options, right, Batista? That's like saying soybeans was a better play. Yeah, let me just hop right on that. Now, I could re-enter longs if ES invalidates his drop. It's just, we got FOMC in 1 hour, guys. So it's price action is probably gonna start turning a bit random. We'll see. I do still like ES to get to this high. But it's still really far away, and with FOMC in an hour, I don't know if it wants to. I'm willing to give it a shot right here. Obviously, way closer to the PT, but it's got to get risk to reward. I don't think it's a bad shot. Isn't that at 2 p.m. Eastern? Oh, yeah, I forgot my time change. Never mind, we got 2 hours until FOMC. It takes me about 2 months to get used to the time change in Arizona. Then that means we could probably actually run. I didn't really expect like an easy to predict decisive move an hour before FOMC, but we still got 2 hours. I can see it. Let's see. NQ just swept that low. NQ's not looking terrible for a re-entry, but it's just so freaking weak. I don't want to touch it unless it comes all the way back up. That 61.8 rule play out on ES? More than played out. Rejected the 78.6 again. No, I ain't playing the 78.6 rule on ES though. It's not volatile enough right now. That's lower lows with the buying wick. I wouldn't have stopped out quite yet. I think my I think on that NQ trade my stop loss was roughly here. It's close though. It's pretty close. As far as I'm concerned, that was an obvious sell at break even. Trade was terrible. Trade was good to enter, ended up being terrible. I think that would have been my snow. It would have barely missed it. But it's pretty much got my stop loss good. That's good. Glad that that sell at break even was worthwhile. That's a bullish candle. If you guys want a reversal trade, that's a reversal trade right there. It's not a bad trend line either. Honestly, it's risky, but it's not a terrible trade, at least to this high. It's not a very far trade either, but it's an acceptable trade to that high. Pretty good risk to reward. The candle needed to close good though. ES retested demand. It's not bad. If this candle were to close like bright green, I'd definitely consider it. But you know what? That the only thing this reversal setup lacked is a volume spike. The next candle's a bright green one and completely wipes out that selling wick. I think I can enter. But that's a bearish candle open, so right now I'm expecting a red candle here. It was a red candle. That held way better than I thought it would. Let's see if it closes a green candle. That'll be the first time in a while they said it was a bearish open and actually closed the opposite. That might be a... This is looking like a potential reversal trade. Not gonna lie. That doesn't look bad. Does not look bad to take a gamble on. At all. This candle opened red though. It just didn't really open bearish by any means, but I gotta wait at least one more candle to enter potential, like a riskier reversal trade. Because right now it could still be a potential bear pennant. Looks pretty good. I said if that's something we can validate, that's short squeeze potential right there. That looks pretty good. Put an order in to try to give it a small shot, but it did not fill me. It left my order in the dust, so. Well, it filled me, but it filled me on a terrible candle, so I would not take longs here. Not unless this candle goes away. Yeah, it's a very bearish candle. That looks like it wants more downside. That's potential short scalp on NQ. I would assume NQ is probably going to go for that lower low. It's just kind of hard to say because we still have this entire setup here, which could be perceived as bullish. It's very 50-50 right now. We're just kind of compressing. That looks like it can potentially run to the upside on NQ. That was a very ugly candle. It just invalidated that candle. If this candle closes right, we could finally see a run on the NASDAQ. Closed okay. This candle opened bullish. It got a bullish result. Sort of like 90% of the time I say a candle opens bullish or bearish, it happens very nicely. That long I took is back in the green. I swore it was going to stop out, but now it just invalidated that red candle, so it doesn't actually look terrible anymore. NQ looks strong. Looks pretty damn good. This is where my order filled. This look where I had my stop loss. 825. Yeah. This is technically first PT. I might just go to the nearest one. This trade is really good. Oh, this is beautiful. We may have something here, folks. It's quite possible we have something here. I need these candles to close right, though. ES may want to try to drag it back down, but right now NQ strength is very nice. Moving my stop loss up a little bit. If it comes all the way back down, it's gonna clear that low. So looks like shorts are trying to step in to push it back down. The way this next candle opens is going to be important because that's a shooting star. That's a bearish candle on NQ. This candle didn't open bullish. See, right when NQ starts showing strength and some serious potential, just shits the bed again. Look at ES. ES isn't even dropping at all. This is not a good. This is not good to trade before FOMC. It's too indecisive. I personally closed that trade early. It's not. That's way too hard of a rejection for me. Maybe it could go up, but now NQ's weak again. It's looking like I'll end the day red by like a trade and a half. It's just not nothing's. It's just not decisive enough. We have FOMC in just under 2 hours, and it looks like the market's waiting for it now. It sucks I missed out on a lot of this run because we called it perfectly. And it sucks that this barely missed my PT. Today would have been a lot better if those hit. That's just the way it goes sometimes. I'll hang out and watch it because if it breaks out, I want to be able to witness it. But otherwise, I'm pretty much done. I don't think there's any potential here. I mean, there was some solid potential, and it would suck if NQ just goes right back up. I don't think it will though. I think it's probably gonna sweep the low. Let's see if he gets there. Let's see if it at least does that. I'll tell you what, if it does sweep this low, which it looks like it's going to pretty easily, if it does sweep this low and come back up, I'd have a hard time believing it's not finally going to break to the upside there. But it looks like selling that trade early for a very small loss did me a huge favor. ES already made the lower low though. It looks like NQ may be a little bit stronger than ES, but it's just more reactive to the downside, when ES is less reactive to the upside. So the chance that NQ doesn't get the lower low. Yep, it got it. It's pretty easy short scalp if you decided to take it. Kind of thinking it's going to continue down though. It's a bearish candle open. Actually, not so much on NQ. I was looking at MNQ at the time. Not a bullish candle open on NQ either, but not super bearish. I might put in this liquidity sweep. Yeah, looks like it is. That is the liquidity sweep. Now let's see if it actually makes a higher high and does something productive. That's ugly. No. It still has potential if that wick invalidates, but right now that looks, no, that doesn't look good. Looks like ES is going to be the one that has a higher chance of running than NQ does. Yeah, ES is holding way better than NQ. It could still potentially, ES can totally run still, but NQ's going to have to reverse if that's going to happen. It has made lower lows with buying weeks many times, but I'm starting to feel like the rug might just get pulled out from under NQ. I don't know. The way it's dipping down and not bouncing is pretty interesting. Now, if it covers up this red candle, okay, then ES looks pretty decent for a run here. But not really trying to enter any trades unless ES gets up a lot more. Like if ES closes this candle very nicely, I'll take one more trade. Stronger than NQ. NQ swept a lot of lower lows. Looks pretty good. Yep. Do we not call it? Did we not say that ES was probably going to be the one to run? Yep. That looks good. Should I take one more trade? If I lose this trade, I'm red by about 2.5 trades today, which ain't too bad. I did fill the trade. All right, well, I'll give it one last shot. One last thing to see if something happens. Very small loss. That's a very far PT. That's a crazy risk to award. The 1-to-1's right here. I'll put it at the 1-to-1 for now. And if NQ looks like it's gonna run, then I'll move it up. But for now, I'm putting it at the 1-to-1, or just above the 1-to-1. Fifth red day in a row. No, Chimkin. It's not the case. Let's see. Yesterday was barely red. Tuesday was red by half of one red trade, but my psych wasn't good on that day. I think this would be maybe 4. Yeah, maybe 4. Well, yeah, this is running nicely. I extended the PT out. We shall see. I'll tell you what, though, if this trade does hit PT, then I'm green on the day. Just by a smidge. You could take profits there on ES if you want to, but ES is way stronger. NQ put in the reversal signal. What I was waiting for. And you know what? ES totally has a setup to run way higher than my PT because NQ has a setup to potentially run a new high of day. But NQ is way too far away and has been way too unreliable. But this is a very good setup here. It's very good. I told you guys. Hang on, let me just click back a million times. Let me draw it. Here, when I drew this and I said, this was right after it started rejecting right here. I said, if it comes down here and it sweeps it one more time, I don't think bears are going to be able to hold it down and it's going to run. And that's exactly what happened. And that's what's happening. So NQ just did the bare minimum. It just made a higher high and rejected. This is why NQ's a POS. But I'd be surprised if that holds. I was looking for at least this high on NQ. Like at least that high. That's why I'm not going to make the mistake of entering NQ again because ES is just a way better. ES has been way better over the last half hour or so, 45 minutes. Here we put up this trade. All right, NQ looks pretty good to break to the upside again. I said that very unlikely that that higher high holds. Now, even though that was a bearish candle that got put in on NQ here, um, very unlikely it holds. So let's see. It actually looks like NQ is flipping strong. So I'm. The problem is it's kind of looking like NQ is going to get to here before ES gets to my PT because it is stronger than ES now. But I'm still hoping ES gets to my PT. I mean, damn good entry on this trade. Oh yeah, way stronger. There's the break to the upside, just as predicted. So many shorts in NQ, like I said. Screaming potential. Blowing on your screen for me. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate that. It's hard to see what is being traded. It's always ES and NQ. It is always ES and NQ. ES on the left, NQ on the right. You can see the watermarks on my screen sometimes here. But yeah, it's always ES and NQ. Ew, ES is so dang weak. Imagine if I have another bright green to red trade. That'd be very unfortunate. Well, ES is looking, well, it was looking great, but looks like it just did not like that high right here. Did not like that. That is a bearish liquidity sweep. It'll look really good if it invalidates this drop, but with how much weaker it flipped than NQ, guys, this trade's looking not good anymore. I filled it at break even. It's another green to red trade. I'm just not willing to hold to another loss. So it looks like today's just meant to be red day. That's two bright green to red trades pretty much in a row. Couldn't have been better. Just decided to turn around. You gotta love FOMC. It just makes price action so indecisive and unwilling to commit to a direction. It did for the first 30 minutes. The first 30 minutes was pretty good, but ever since this run happened, it's just given me a whole lot of nothing. Still leaning fairly bullish for ESD to this PT, but it's not a fan. Not a fan. It's too far away now, and it's too much weaker than NQ. I'll hang out just a little bit longer because I want to see if it at least gets there. NQ still has potential if it invalidates this red candle, but no, it looks like shit. I'm not trading this. I don't do compression, and it's compressing. So, and you guys don't have to celebrate even. I decided to. I'm just not. I just don't want to take another loss during this FOMC price action. I'm gonna keep today's red days small, like pretty much every other red day, which is annoying because I'm getting a lot of tiny red days. This December has been really terrible. December has been my worst month so far, statistically, as far as win rate goes for this time of futures trading. Options has been fantastic as per usual, but futures has been so shitty. It looks pretty decent to continue dropping. I think I'm gonna call it here. I mean, that's 2 hours. That's 10:30. We're still chopping. We're probably gonna break one way sooner or later. It's just now we only have an hour and a half until FOMC, and I don't know what it's gonna do until then. I'm sure after FOMC price action is gonna be good, but I'm not gonna be trading that during that time. But you know, I'm expecting as far as the second and third hour, because first hour there's enough volatility for me to make money pretty much regardless. Like options is fantastic, but second and third hour, I think we may need to wait until through the holiday. I'm still gonna trade light size that I same size I've been doing, but I don't think it's gonna be good again until after the holidays, so we'll have to see. But all right, well, I'm gonna call it here. It looks like I made a pretty good decision. I don't know just yet, but I will see you people later. Good luck if you continue trading. If you trade FOMC, don't. But if you must, trade very light size and use hard stops. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yep, would have hit my stop loss. Boom. Good sell, break even. Super freaking annoying that I have 2 break even trades pretty much in a row. But it is what it is. So it's better than taking a bunch of losses. All right, I'll see you guys later. And yes, I do only trade options, Rami, in the morning.